Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am dealing with a marriage dispute, and based on what I heard in the report or how they mentioned the situation, it sounded like the man was very out of control and just in a really bad mental headspace, punching walls and so on, and saying ridiculous things. So I'm also at the same time working on some, I guess you could call it a series of videos. And one of the chapters out of it's quite a long sequence. So maybe the 7th video would be called When He Has His Period. And what I mean by that is when in society we realize that if a woman is not feeling well, she's not behaving the normal way, she's a little agitated, irritated, then at times the reason is her monthly hormonal cycle. And we give them a pass. Likewise, men have something of that nature, and here I'm a little confused still. I'm still researching, but it mentions, what is the IMS? What the hell does it stand for? So basically it's when a man is not feeling well, his testosterone levels down, then if other factors in his life, more responsibilities, loss of a loved one or something like that, it puts a man in a very negative state of mind. So that is one thing to consider independently, that what is the man's mental state at that moment when he's acting out, what the heck is going on with him. So that'll be the first thing to consider. The next thing is his state in life. Like obviously that was a mental state. I guess how we can divide this, one will be the emotional state of the person, where he is emotionally, and the second one could be where he ranks in stability in life. So based on my anecdotal experiences, and I guess I can try to find some reasoning for that in the Quran also, is when a person has the two extremes of life. Either things are going really well or things are completely out of sync. Those are the two times people lose their mind and start saying and doing a lot of crazy things. So when you see a person say, I don't care about anyone, everyone can go to hell, you realize either he's doing really well, he's got a big paycheck, he got upgraded at work, or something special happened, or he's unstable at that moment, and that's why he's hating on everyone. And I think this is where a person feels like others cannot really do much for him. So if he's too rich and too stable, then he'll start hating on people and saying, oh yeah, I don't need you, or whatever. Or if the person is really unstable, he's so broke, and he realized that people don't really help that much. They'll help you a little bit, but they'll just leave you to your own hard work to get out of it. Then that is the two times where a person becomes very unstable. So both are not the best of states. The Quran tells us, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, إذا مسه الشر جزوعا. When evil or misfortune touches a person and afflicts him, jazua, he becomes impatient, complaining. وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا. When good touches him, then he becomes avoidant or preventative. He prevents others from coming to the good that has touched him. So if he has too much money, then he stops answering phone calls. And how I explain it to my loved ones is, the more money a person has, the higher his fences are. The more richer the person is, the higher his fence is, because he doesn't want anybody coming into his space. So the Quran also tells us in another place, لِكَيْ لَا تَأْسَوْا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ, is speaking about the wisdom of destiny, that when a person considers the beauty of destiny, he realizes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has predetermined things so as to save the human from insanity or extremism in the two extremes of his life. One is when a person loses something, لِكَيْ لَا تَأْسَوْا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ, so you don't grieve excessively over what has afflicted you. If you lose something in life, you don't over grieve over it. And وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا أَتَاكُمْ, and do not get over exuberant over what you achieved in life. So don't be too cocky, don't be too arrogant. Good for you that you got something, but don't get too arrogant. Don't start flexing on people. Unfortunately, we live in a time where even a darn meal is a flex. So you've seen people just taking pictures of their darn meals, and that is definitely a negative behavior. If you're sharing your meals with the world, you're literally saying, look, I'm willing enough to boast about a meal that I'm having. So imagine those people, when they have more in life, they'll be very arrogant. May Allah save us from that. So what a person needs is a stable, humble, confident, composed state, independent of his situation. So you need an inner peace when outside is chaotic. Just like how we live in Canada, we have chaotic weather outside, but we need the inside weather to be controlled. And then I reflect on a woman perhaps might experience the two extremes in her different stages and ages of her life. She might feel extreme confidence when she's young and really in her prime according to social norms, and then she might feel a sudden drop in her self-worth when she sees that she is showing signs of aging. And obviously these are shallow ways of looking at things, but that is definitely how social world sees aging, and that is very unfortunate. Aging gracefully, I did write about it, alhamdulillah, in some other chapter. We can go through that some other time, but aging gracefully is beautiful. It's nothing to be worried about. And the other thing is, when a person is in these two extremes of difficulties or pleasure, then his childhood, his bad programming, his bad coping mechanisms, his extreme views will come up, and he'll become hostile and so on. So that is what we need to focus on, is why am I acting out so much? And the goal is to find stability when the outward is unstable. And we finish off with Sa'ad radiallahu anhu. In Riyadh al-Salihin, there's a hadith. It mentions Sa'ad felt a very grandeur for himself. He had a grandiose feeling about him, that he felt superior over others. And when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam perceived that, he said, Sa'ad, don't do that. We are sustained and blessed because of the weak ones and the needy ones around us. In other words, the mouths that you feed, the innocent souls that you're taking care of, or the seniors that you take care of, your blessings are coming to you because of them. So you might be the outward means for the blessings to come, but don't get it twisted. The ghaib, the unseen world, Allah is giving you your rizq a bit extra because He knows you're feeding a few extra mouths. So don't get big-headed. And obviously I'm paraphrasing, they're using a different language and just trying to get to the meaning of the hadith. For your own academic reason, you can check the hadith in Riyadh al-Salihin under the chapter of pride. So I guess that's good enough for the time being. And now I'm going to clean up. I just didn't want to lose my flow for today, so that's why I made the video before the cleanup. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.